Hello, everyone. Welcome back to WWB. And you can see that I have a lovely guest with us today. So, today on WWB, I am Tanisha Lachey. Please let us know as soon as you come in. Let us know if you can hear us, if you can see us. I'm actually looking on my Facebook page to make sure that we're actually seen and you can hear us. But as soon as someone get in the chat, let us know if you're able to see and hear us. But today, okay, I can see that we can see. So, perfect. On my page, I can see. So, today we're going to talk about Your Body is a Temple. And I have none other than Rickkita Edwards, who is the founder of Waste Not. She's an author, she's a mother, she's a wife, she is all of these things. But for me, I know her as a fitness trainer. First of all, let me just tell a little story. So I first met you through some mutual acquaintances, some mutual friends. And so I was doing another project with some amazing ladies, and we were looking for a fitness trainer to talk about being fit. And someone reached out and said to pick you. And so I remember our first phone call. I literally remember our first phone call. And from then, I can honestly say I fell in love with you. And I was like, okay, this is the person I want. And so I can say that she knows her stuff. I have been trained by her. So she motivated me really to get back into fitness. Like I've always been fit, but to say like, I want to be active. I want to look like her. I want to do this. And so I have Rickkita. And that is the honest to God's truth. Especially when I was like coming back from school, getting back into work, going through life changes. And when we met, I never did tell you that, but I was just like, this is someone I want to look like. And if she can go to the gym and be active and be dedicated, I mean, so can I. And so that's why I have you here. So welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. You just made me want to cry. Like seriously, I want to cry.
I was like, no, I have always told you like how much I adore
Yeah,
you.
I want to say that I appreciate you so much. You don't know that when I'm ready to throw in the towel, God sends you.
Maybe. I think you have told me that before. You were like, yeah, I was done. I was going to hide in the corner. And I'm like, nope, come train my church because they want to do this Biggest Loser. And I'm like, nope, they want to ask me. And I said, absolutely not. I don't know what I'm doing. So I was like, come do this with us. And so I've been super excited and I've always been inspired by your fitness, your dedication, because you have told me a little bit offsite about your fitness journey and where you came from. And I want to get into that today. So my first question to you is, like I said, I know you're an author. I know you to be a wife. I know you to be a mother. I know you to be a fitness person. I know you honestly to be a worshiper as well. And a singer. So I was like, I know you to be all these things. But if someone didn't know you and they were like, who is Rickkita? What would you tell them? So who is Rickkita?
So first of all, I'm all of the things you said. I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a mother, I'm an author, entrepreneur. Most people don't know that I'm a comedian. So, and I love to laugh and I love to have fun. If you're small talking around me, I'm probably going to be not want to talk to you. So, most people don't know that I'm a comedian. And you're right. I love the Lord. I am a true worshiper. Like I love the Lord. This is my prayer room where I should not be there right now, but I give my fitness to the Lord all the time. So that's who I am. You've already said it.
Because I didn't know about the comedian part, but I have definitely laughed through a ton of workouts. So I believe that to be true. I was like, I definitely have cracked up multiple times in several of our workouts. So good, I do. And stay in the prayer closet because, a lot of times, a lot of things do download in those rooms because I know I have thought about putting my podcast in there too. So you might motivate me to do that as well because things do download while you're in your prayer closet. So good. So to learn a little bit more about you, what, because you did tell me about offline, or just a while back about like your fitness journey. What would you say like caused you to say, I'm gonna start this fitness journey, and what caused you to say I have to be consistent?
So I don't think you even know this, but I used to be almost 289 pounds. And so, yes, yes.
Because wait, I think I need people to have clarity when you're saying 290 something pounds because you're not
289. It wasn't quite 90 yet, but it was almost. Okay. It was almost.
So 289.
Yes.
But wait, how tall are you? Because people need to understand
right
what
now because I shrunk. I'm 4'11", but that I was 5'2" then. And so
Right.
imagine that on my little
Yeah.
short body.
Yeah, that's what
And
I'm saying. Like,
so
I need people to, because they can't tell how tall you was, and I'm like, she is itty bitty. So like,
I'm itty bitty. I'm so short. Like I'm 4'11" now because I shrunk a little because I'm
right.
60. So, but that what motivated me is just being tired. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired of being heavy and
Yeah.
masking everything about being obese. I would act like I was happy around people, and then I had to go look in the mirror all the time, and then that's when those emotions would tear me apart. Like,
Mhm.
you know. And then I went through an abusive relationship. So let's start there.
Mhm.
So when I
Yeah.
started really recognizing that I needed to do some help, I needed help, is when I went through an abusive relationship. And this guy that I was married to, he called me every name in the book. You fat this, you fat that. Nobody wants
Yeah.
you. You're ugly. And then I started really looking, and I used to believe him. And my mom started telling me, no, you're beautiful. Like, don't believe
Yeah.
anything he said. Don't believe it. And so then she said, if you want to change something about yourself, it's not going to be through a man, it's not going to be through anything. You have to want that change. You have to be the change you want to see. And so I
Absolutely.
took that and I released all those emotions that I had, emotions with food. And food is the biggest thing, especially with women when they're obese. They have these emotions that are tied to them, and then they just want to eat, eat, eat. And so when I
Mhm.
realized that I had to do something because I got sick and tired of looking and being and feeling the way I was, that's when I started to do something. So I started off walking, just walking
Okay.
all, I probably walked 10 miles a day, because back then there wasn't gyms like Planet Fitness, Club Fitness, and the Edge. We didn't have all of that. Mind you,
Mhm.
I'm like double your age, so almost double your age. So we didn't have all these gyms. So walking
Yeah.
was the thing. So I just started walking, and the pounds started coming off. The
I
pounds started
said.
coming off.
Yeah, because I mean, 10 pounds. I mean, 10 miles. I'm like, absolutely not. I'm thinking like,
Every
wait a minute. You saw the way I looked. I was like, 10 miles. Like, okay.
yes,
And I can understand, like, when you're in, especially when you're in those type of headspaces and you're trying to adapt and trying to heal from certain relationships, not only was it probably a fitness journey for you, it was probably
it was
something,
terrible.
healing. Yeah. That's something I'm like,
It was
it's
terrible.
got to be something else besides, walking those
It
10
was
miles.
terrible.
Cause
But it drove me. It drove me to want to be better, not for him, but for
Mhm.
me. Like, I wanted to feel good for me. He had already dogged me out so bad
Right.
until I felt like I needed to do something for me. So that was for me.
Awesome. So
So
when you're going through this, fitness journey is healing for you, and this time it's like, I'm not even doing it for anybody else. This is for me to feel good. I'm taking my mother's advice. How do I go through this process? Were there times where it's like maybe the weight is fluctuating or it's not coming off the way you wanted to? Was there times that you were just like, I'm over it, I'm about to quit?
there was a couple of times that I wanted to quit. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be very transparent. So I went to
Mhm.
this doctor and I
Okay.
wanted some diet pills because I had reached a plateau where I was not losing the weight quick enough.
Yeah.
And I went to this doctor and she gave me these Phenomens or something like that. And I
Mhm.
took them for like 2 months and the weight started coming off, but I was up all night. I started looking like a raccoon. And so I was like, I can't do this no more. Like I was losing the weight. I think I took them for maybe about 2 months and I probably lost about 23 pounds or something like that. I don't remember. I was so young, but I got off
Mhm.
of them and I said, you know what? That's when I really started taking my prayer life serious back then. I wasn't even in church. I was like,
Okay.
Lord, if you just help me lose this weight, give me strategic ways to lose this weight. I don't ever want to be big like this ever again. So I got off the
Right.
amphetamines, whatever you call those, and I just
Mhm.
really just focusing on diet, just eating the right foods. I stopped eating a lot of junk foods. I stopped doing the sugars and the sodas and the cakes and the pies. And I started focusing on vegetables and fruit and baked foods. And I think I went for about 2 years eating just baked food.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
the
most
people
people,
are discouraged. The people
yeah,
are
most people,
discouraged.
yeah. I mean, listen, I didn't have anybody to motivate me. I had to motivate myself.
Absolutely. So
Seriously.
so going through 2 years of eating baked foods, no sugar, no this, I'm just like, I'm like, yeah, hang on. My brother is talking about it. Listen, rough. Thank you, Michael. You took the words right out of my mouth. I'm like, 'cause, 10 miles, maybe.
Yeah.
KFC, absolutely. But bacon, I said, oh wait, baked, I don't know. But it's like
Yes.
you have to have this discipline of, because if I take the pills and I'm up all night and that's making me feel some kind of way, I have to find, sometimes you do have to do some
Mhm.
extremes, to get
Yeah.
you to where you are. And so for you, you're finding this measurement of this is what works. I'm walking, I'm do what I need to do. Because like she said, we have to understand the time period. It isn't no 24-hour Planet Fitness at this time that she's trying to lose this weight. Thank goodness for the 24 hours and $10 for crunch or whatever is out here now. But we could do a little bit more. But
Right.
I do want to kind of think back. It's like, okay, your fitness journey, you have done your fitness journey. And I know people do know you as a fitness trainer. What made you decide to say, I want to help others, to overcome their fitness journeys or get them to where they want to be? Because I can do it for myself. Because you told me that I should be one or get there, and I'm
Oh,
still
yeah,
like,
you
I'm
definitely should.
like, but I don't know if that's something I want to do. What made you decide, not only do I want to continue with myself, but I want to take this and help others?
So it was actually other people, like everywhere I went, and I promise you, the eating clean, that's like 80%. That's the hardest part, is the eating clean. That is rough.
Mm-hmm.
20% going to the gym is, you just going to the gym for the aesthetics of it all. You want to look good, but your diet is what changes your body. And so when I started seeing my body change, I was like, whoa, sister
Mm-hmm.
got back.
Come
So
on.
everywhere I went, people would stop me and was like, you gotta work out. Like I had so many, everywhere I went, grocery stores, shopping, just walking, people always compliment me. So then people
Mhm,
were coming up to me saying, like, you should be a trainer. Are you a trainer? I know you a trainer. So then I started
mhm.
thinking. So then I went and joined this gym called BKM. I had lost most of my weight, and I think I was like 130 pounds then when I joined BKM. And
Yeah.
he pushed me to the front of the class. Every class we had, he made me stand up front and face the people. I'm like, I don't want to do this because naturally I'm an introvert, right? I'm an
Yeah. Mhm,
extrovert on demand. And so he was like, no, you go up there. And then I started doing it. And then I fell in love with it, like the
mhm,
ideal of it. And that's when I wanted, I was like, I'm going to be a personal trainer. I'm going to get certified because I love this. And that's when
mhm.
I think people just inspired me because they were always coming to me saying, your body is so nice.
It is.
People even thought I had a BBL. Like to this day, I have people asking me on my job, girl, did you have a BBL?
Hey,
And
wait a
I'm
minute.
like, what? Girl, I
The gym will give you
gym
a free
BBL
BBL.
and everything.
You just
Right.
you just gotta work for it. So I don't know
So,
how far this is gonna get, but do know it's gonna probably raise your views on everything that you're at because people will see you sitting down now, but they want to know.
oh, they
The
almost
people, the people want to see. Okay, I'm sorry. It's me and you, and I
no,
forget the
maybe
world
at
is
the end,
here.
maybe towards the end.
Oh no,
Maybe.
ma'am. No, ma'am. I've seen you recently. No, ma'am. Okay, I'm sorry. We're gonna get back to it. For those that know me, this is just who I am. And if you want to see what I saw, know that she is a married woman. She's dedicated to her husband. But if you want to see the salvation of the Lord and what he can do in your life, go ahead over to her page.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
I'm
So
sorry, but it's true.
it's all good. It's all
So,
good.
with you being, with being a wife and being a mother, and just working full time because you are a full time employee, how are you able to prioritize because you still are at that gym, you still are there right now.
Yeah.
How do you prioritize that time? Because I do hear a lot of people say, I do want to go to the gym, but I get off of work and I'm tired, or I got these kids and husband, I have to cook, clean. How do you and realistically decide I have to prioritize going to the gym?
I started thinking about when I was 289, and I
Mm,
started thinking about how I felt, and I don't ever want to feel that way again. And although, like, I've only been working now for like it's almost 3 years, I still try. I'm not as dedicated as I was prior to me getting the job because I
mhm,
stayed at the gym. I was Zooming all day long. During the pandemic, that's all I did. I zoomed
Mhm.
all day long helping people. And so after the pandemic hit and people were going back into the gym and I started losing a lot of clients, I got a job. But here's what I'll say to prioritizing your time. If you really want to keep your body look good, you're going to make time. You're going to find that time. You're going to have to be disciplined. You're going to have to be consistent. And for me, what consistency looks like is getting up in the morning sometimes at 5 o'clock before I have to be at work. I have to be at work at 6. If I have to
Mhm.
go to work and take my little shower at the gym and do what I got to do, I'm not going to say I do it every day, but some
Yeah.
days I do it. And then when I come home, I have a whole gym in my lower level. So I'll go
Mhm.
down there. As bad as I hate to be at home working out, I force myself to stay on that treadmill every single day.
Mhm. So
But
why would you say that fitness is so important? Like for other people, why would you preach the fact that or really emphasize the fact that fitness is really just important?
most people don't realize it, but fitness is like therapy. It's an
It
endorphin that
is.
get into it, like it takes your mind away from a lot of things. I could be so upset and then I'll go to the gym, forget all about it. Like those endorphins kick in and it's like, man, I need it. That's just what I needed. I don't do a lot
Mhm.
of talking. You won't never catch me on the phone talking and doing all that stuff. But if I have a problem, situation, I'm gonna go to God first and I'm gonna go to the gym. And once I leave that gym, I done forgot about everything. So for me, gym fitness is important for my mental health
Yeah,
for me.
I so agree with that. Like I can tell that I've been a little off and I'd be like, what
Yeah.
is wrong with me? Like I'm a little snappy and I'm like, I know I done ate, I done went to sleep. And I'd be like, oh yeah, you ain't been at the gym. Let me go to the
Get
gym
on that
and
Stairmaster, girl. Put on some gospel music. Listen, it's over. Whatever you came there with, listen, you're not gonna
that
leave.
that is true. But you said that Stairmaster and I heard Satan's music because
I've seen you on the Stairmaster before. I walked in the gym and literally saw you on the Stairmaster.
and I was dying. That's
Several
what you
times.
that's and I hate it. I cannot
Yeah, well,
stand that
hate love
is that
relationship for me. A hate
I know
love
you
relationship.
love the I know
Love
you
it.
love it and no.
Love
No,
it.
I
Love
don't, but it is very true that it is very therapeutic to go to the gym, and it does take your mind away, and those endorphins do make you feel better. And of course, you know, just having those results and seeing those results do something to your
God.
mind as well.
Confidence builder. It's a confidence builder.
Yes.
Listen, you want to go? I'm gonna wear this. I'm wearing that. Oh yeah. So yes, this builder definitely.
Absolutely. So I know we titled this, you know, the body is a temple, and you know, of course, there is a verse in First Corinthians, it's like 6, I think 19 through 20, and it really talks about the body is a temple. And I know most people kind of think about that as just purity, and I'm not a Bible scholar at all, but you do think about, you know, keeping your body pure. But when it comes to
Mhm.
your physical body, and just your opinion, do you think the church could do a better job? Because we are church girls, you know, that's just who we are. We're church girls, you know, we love the Lord, you know, we do everything for him. Do you think that the church could do a better job of discussing and promoting fitness when it comes to the physical temple?
I think the church have failed black women, black men that are
Mhm.
obese. I really do think that they could do more and talk about fitness. Gluttony, whatever you want to call it, is a sin.
Yeah.
And the Bible speaks about that in Proverbs. And
Mhm.
we'll look over, we'll say every scripture about sin but that one sin. And I think a lot of times the preachers, the pastors, they don't want to hurt feelings because
Mhm.
the church is predominantly obese. And we have to do more talking about that, especially in the church, especially in the
Mhm.
black churches.
Mhm.
For me, it's going to sound mean, but for me, I can't receive a word from a person that is obese. I'm sorry. Maybe I have to ask the Lord to help me with that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe Lord forgive me. But I
Go ahead. You know, let me put myself on mute. Go ahead.
no, I can't. No, I know that's wrong. I know it's wrong. Lord help me. But it may be, Lord forgive me. But I
No, but I
can't. It's
get that.
like,
You know, if you feel like this person, and let me just add my 2 cents. So if you burn, I'm gonna jump in the fire right with you. I ain't gonna let you go down by yourself. But it is something to the fact that you think of when they're talking about fasting and praying. If somebody
yes,
is, it's like, was that? plate
What are
push
you
back?
doing? Like, do you push back your plate? Like, I want to know. Like, tell me. So we need to talk about. We need to discuss. We need to first. They need to get to the root of why. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they need to get the root of why there are so many obese people in the church, and we're doing
Mm-hmm.
everything the Lord tell us to do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah,
Yeah.
I think they do a horrible job at discussing uh fitness in the
Fitness.
church. Just my
Okay,
personal
agreed.
opinion.
Agree. I'm not mad at it at all. I knew you were gonna say it, and it just cracks me up. So I was like, let me put myself on mute because I knew I was gonna just take over with my laughter. But I think we do because some people do really take you know, how they live their lives from the church. And I think it should be mentioned that, the physical, not just the spiritual body, but the physical body, we need to take care of that as well. And one way you can do that is monitoring your food, monitoring
Yes.
your intake, really
Yes.
regulating your body, by getting up and moving and different things of that nature. Because if we're talking about doing a purpose for the Lord and really doing ministry, whatever that looks like, whether it's over a pulpit or anything else, in all seriousness, your health matters. And
Your
if you
health
are,
matters.
your health matters. If you're too sick, how can you carry out the mission or the purpose that He has for you when you don't feel good or you don't feel right or you physically can't do it because of
Mhm.
certain choices that you make? So I know I did joke and laugh because I was just like, man, but to be honest, it is something that we do need to discuss in the church
And we, yeah,
in a
absolutely.
way, not to condemn anybody for any means.
Downgrade somebody, but we need to bring it needs to be an educational surface in the church so that it can be discussed openly and, like you
Mhm.
said, not in a degrading way.
Yeah, I think just being a good steward. If we talk about being a good steward for them in our money, which I know a lot of churches do talk about finances, you can talk about being a good steward of your temple, and so it just
That's
makes sense. I told you, girl, I
good.
was gonna jump in that fire with you. Don't worry, I got you.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Thank you.
So if somebody is saying, how do I even start? Because I know a lot of people say they go to the gym and they're looking around like, I don't even know what to even
It's
start with,
intimidating.
or
It's
it is
intimidating.
very intimidating.
It's
Like,
very, for some people, it is intimidating. So
how
I
can
would
someone
say
get started?
just go, just step in there. I mean, everybody in the gym is in there for the same thing. You may have some people who just come there and want to, lounge around, but for the most part, most people that go to the gym are in the gym for the same reason you are.
Mhm.
And so if you don't know where to start on the treadmill. Incline that baby to like 5, 6, 7. Turn it up to level 3 and ride it for 5 minutes at a time. If you do that every day and then build from that. And then
Mhm.
once you get tired of that treadmill, step on the Stairmaster. And then look around at Planet Fitness. They got pictures on there to show you what to do.
Mhm.
Start getting familiar with the machines in the gym and just go for it. Just step out there and do it. If you really want to do it, you're just going to go and you're
Right.
going to find a reason to be there. And the reason should be your overall health.
Mhm. Do you feel like someone, if they want to start their regimen, that they have to go to the gym to get
You don't
fit?
No. Now you can work
Okay.
out right in the comfort of your home. I did it for 4 years during the pandemic. I
Mhm.
had clients starting from 5 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock at night, every
Mhm.
hour on the hour doing it. So, I mean, you can buy weights. I got weights. This is my prayer room. So I keep weights and everything in my prayer room. I'm like, Lord,
Mhm.
thank you. Thank you, Lord. So, I mean, you could just start buying 5-pound weights, the bands, and get you a little. You can go on YouTube. YouTube is a wonderful university for fitness, and
Mhm.
find you a video and stick with that video. And if you get tired of her looking at her workout, you can go find somebody else to work out. So, you don't have to go to a gym.
Right.
You can do the treadmill and walk your
Mhm.
treadmill.
And a
You
lot of the
know,
stuff that you can get, like, the weights and different things like that, you can find them
Five
for a
Below,
reason, right? Five Below has tons of
Five
stuff.
Below.
Yeah, Five Below has kettlebells. They have
Mhm.
they have the little dumbbells. They have a
They
lot
have
of
it
stuff
all.
in that section.
Mhm.
They do have a lot of stuff in that section. And right now, you can find, those little small treadmills that you can just kind of walk on,
That you can walk on. What do they call them? The portable walkers or something?
something
With the
like that.
Yeah,
And
I
they're
forgot.
not even that expensive. They're not even that expensive. Now, if you want to go do the Peloton and all that, hey, now you might want to
Yeah,
save up. but you can buy a lot of things if you're someone that just says, I don't really like the gym. I don't want to be around anyone. I'd rather just go, downstairs in my lower level. There's tons of things that you can find online or even at Five Below to get started.
Yeah. Now you don't have to go to a gym, and that's a lot of people's excuses. I had a lot of clients that were so intimidated of the
Mhm.
gym. I had one girl that trained with me, and she don't mind me telling this story, but she came into the gym and literally cried. And I'm like,
Mm.
why are you crying? She's like, it's just so many people and too many people, and I'm not used to being around people. So I took her in a
Mhm.
little back room back there at Planet, and we started working out. And then she would only want to work out in that room. It's okay. She lost
Yeah.
20 pounds. So,
Right. Good.
just
Yeah, that little
move
30-minute
your
is
body.
good.
Yeah, just move your body.
Do you think that, some people that are of different ages, do you think it's ever too late to get fit? Is it
It's
like an
never
age limit?
it's never too late. I was starting to think that because menopause was trying to take over. And I was like,
Hmm.
I'm just done. My body falling apart. But then, and thank you
Yeah.
for always calling me and reminding me every time I want to throw in the
Hmm.
towel, somebody calls me and say, look, I want you to do this. I want you to do that. But
Hmm.
I don't think at any age you can start working out at 75. What's
Yeah.
my hero, Ernestine Shepherd? She started working out in her late 50s. She's almost
Mm.
80 and still her body is amazing.
Yeah.
So those are the people that I kind of want. I mimic myself, and I was like, oh, I can't stop. Like every time I want to quit, it's
Yeah.
like I don't want to work out today. Oh, I'm gonna get my butt up and I'm going to work out. I do not look. I don't want to ever see what 289 pounds look like ever.
Right. So,
Yeah.
because you talked about menopause, and I want to talk about that. How can somebody reach their goals if they're going through certain things like that? Like if I'm have menopause, or I'm like, arthritis, or I am at a certain age where it feels like my body is just changing. How do you do that? Because some people will say, "Well, I would love to work out, but I have a bad knee, or I have this." What's some advice you would give those folks?
It's all up here. It's all up here. I recently had to get me a trainer, Mr.
Mhm.
Hunter. I recently had to get a trainer. And so I was thinking I'm not going to ever lose this weight. I'm going through menopause. But when I changed my diet drastically again, and I promise you, after changing my diet prior when I was like 289, I was still doing that same thing, just eating the right foods. But it seemed like when I started going through menopause, any little thing I ate, it was like it was coming right here on my butt, on my
Yeah.
hips, and everything. But when I started changing again, I had to tweak that diet and just start drinking more water and eating the right foods. Lots of protein. When you start going through menopause and you get older, you have to have more protein. You have to
Hmm.
have consume more protein. So I started doing that, and guess what? I started losing weight. I lost 3 pounds with him the first week of working out with him, and I hadn't been able to lose 1 pound in like 2.5 years.
Hmm.
So it's just knowing your body,
Hmm.
knowing your
And what do you because
so
I want to kind of add a little bit more about that, because people are saying like protein. What do you mean? Because it's like some people may say I know my body, but then it's kind of like maybe I don't know my body because it's changing so much. How can because when you're
it,
going through that,
I was
I've
that
heard that
girl
like
that
tell me
go
about
ahead.
that. Like, if you're feeling like, how do I get to reacquainted with my body? Because it's kind of like one of those different things. Like, I know my body, or like I was telling you earlier, I'm hitting them big fours. Well, I'm over 40. I'll be 42, very soon. But with my family, I'm not sure how quickly I'll be going into menopause, and it could be where I'm used to this body, and then how
Yeah.
do I get reacquainted with with it changing so much to say, what should I be eating? Because I can tell you right now, I'm not never been a salad girl. That's why I stay in the gym. What could you help me do? Like my brother knows, you can't tell me not to eat bacon. I'm gonna eat bacon on everything. It makes it better.
Oh, here's the thing. I had to find out when I was going through menopause through talking to my mom. That's what they told me. But because I was surgically induced into menopause, it happened
Mm,
probably a little sooner than I anticipated it happened.
mhm.
And so it just psychologically just took over my mind. I was like, oh, I gained weight and I just didn't know what to do. But I'm going to tell you, when you start going through those things, you prepare yourself now. So don't wait until it happens. Start preparing yourself now. Start eating better. If you know you don't like salads, you don't have to eat salads, but eat some kind of green vegetables, green leafy
Mm-hmm.
vegetables. I stopped eating all fruits and I just start reducing it to just like the berries and things of that nature. And I eat a lot of protein, the tuna, the steak. Even my coach told me to eat steak. Like that's a good protein for me. Just start eating stuff like that, and no bread, no sugar, which I already knew. And it's all also about portion control and how many times you eat a day. So
Okay.
my diet consists of like 5 times a day. I start 5 in the morning. I supposed to be done by like 5 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking a gallon of water a day. So that has helped my body. I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't lost weight in like 2 or 3 years, and I'm losing weight now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still
Yeah.
not. I mean, I'm like 135, girl. I was 122 back, when I was boom, boom, boom. But
Again, I'm not gonna go through this with you. When the people go look and see what the Lord has done, yeah, just go on her page and you can look and see what the Lord has done. Ain't
he's
nobody gonna be
good.
sitting here
He's
talking about
good
nothing
in
else. So
all his ways. God is good. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm telling you, people think I had a BBL.
I
I'm
believe
like,
it.
what?
I know what they mean. I've seen you. I'm like, I know what they
Oh,
mean.
that's a compliment. That's a compliment to me. That's a
It's a
compliment.
compliment. It's a
A
compliment. We're
big
not mad at it by no means.
not at all.
So people may say, like I wanted to work out, I went out there because it's the new year, new me. And a lot of people are testing themselves out and they are going to the gym. And, because they are like going hard, they're coming back and they're like, I was sore for so many days. Like my legs were on fire. I could barely walk. And that is normal because if you have a really good leg day, whew, you a wrap. But how do you overcome, still pushing through with this workout? If you're saying this is the year I'm gonna do it, 25 is the year I'm gonna build my BBL this year. Like, how do you get past? How do you get past? How sore you can't get to push through.
First of all, I would ask people, are they stretching? Because a lot of people don't even stretch. They don't understand that stretching is the most important. That's more important than the workout. And if you
Mm-hmm.
stretch, is like muscle recovery. You won't be as, for me, I hardly ever, and I used to go so hard in the gym. I never was in pain. I was like, why am I not? I stretch. I stretch all the time. I stretch when I wake up in the morning. I stretch
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the day. I stretch at work. We have a stretching class every morning. I stretch at work when I get to work, and then I stretch before I go to bed. So if you stretch, that's like muscle recovery. It
Mm-hmm.
elongates your body. Stretching is just an amazing thing for anybody. I would recommend everybody to stretch before and after any and every workout. Now, granted, if you do have pain, there are pre-workouts that you could take to
Mm-hmm.
eliminate, those things. But if you just in pain all the time, then something, you need to stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Stretching
Okay.
is
So
very important.
I need to stretch. I'm the bad one. I
You
know
don't
when I work.
stretch. You do not stretch at all.
I know when I worked out with you, when you trained me, I would definitely work out and
Yeah,
stretch, and then I would
I
stretch after.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I work out and I stretch out in the bed because I go to sleep afterwards. that is that is my stretch. Like I go to the gym, I wear
It's
my
so
stuff.
amazing. It helps with flexibility. Like,
Yeah,
girl, stretch. Start stretching today. Start
I
stretching.
I'm gonna do it today because I'm gonna go. I'm gonna definitely try to see if I can hit the gym like afterwards tonight, and then I'm gonna try to stretch. And maybe what I'll do is go look with YouTube and just see what are some good stretches that I can actually do
Yeah.
and incorporate that
Yeah.
into the workout. Because sometimes I think that's where, which is weird because I took dance for 10 years, so you would think I would know to stretch afterwards, but
Exactly.
I guess in my mindset, it's like now I'm just like, well, what should I be doing, to get, that workout? And, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna do my top to bottom, my workout that I normally do. And I've been trying to get on this Stairmaster, which is the devil, towards the end. And then, I'm gonna incorporate stretching at the end. So I
Yeah,
promise
please
you,
do.
the next time you tell me,
Before
I'm gonna
and
do.
after. Before and after. And do you do desk work? Are you sedentary at work?
Yes,
Start
unfortunately,
stretching
yeah.
that chair.
Mhm.
start doing it. I promise you. You'll see a
Okay.
difference after you work out. You'll see a difference.
Okay. Yeah, the sore question was me. So, we're kind of getting close to time, and I just want to make sure. So, for all of those that are watching, I know we're getting close to time. I want to kind of ask you, because you talked about, where you started, where you say you were like 289, I think is what you told me. 289, you had got to a point, at that time it wasn't a gym. You were like, I was walking 10 miles, changing the way I eat. And it wasn't, again, I want to harp on the fact that it wasn't your fitness journey and was not about impressing anyone else. It was not about, doing this to get acceptance. This was all about you just loving on you, you really getting
Yes.
in tune to yourself and just carrying that on and then just being able to pass that on to someone else, which I'm going to say it over and over again, thank you so much. And I keep telling you, you can't quit. Like every time I'm like, you really can't. I'm like, I don't know
Always
why you
compliment. I
quit.
love you so much.
I love you too. I'm like, you can't quit. I'm like, because if you quit, then I literally have told you how you motivated me to keep going. So, because I used to tell you all the time, I'm like, oh no, you can't quit because I'm trying to look like you. So every time I see you go, I say, well, let me get my bag and go because. I start getting brave by saying, because you definitely talked to me about posting content. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
if I post content and I'll just share on a different, site that's different from my personal, that'll motivate me to keep going. And maybe if I just post content and people see that I'm out here doing it, because I'm a single mom, I work every day, how they can do that. And so you can't quit by no means, because even though you don't think people are seeing you, I tell you every time I see you, how much of an impact you definitely have, on people to do fitness and to know, because I didn't know that. I didn't know that the fitness journey, really just started from you saying, I just want to love on me, regardless to what how someone try to make me feel and try to tear me down. I'm doing this for me. And a lot of times that's so important when you go to a fitness journey, that you can't do a fitness journey for the results of someone else or trying to get the approval of someone else. This is something that you have to get in your own mind and say, I'm doing it for me.
That's right.
And a lot of times that can't help you push forward, because it's like, this time it's about me. This time it's not about anyone else.
Right.
And so, with all that being said, where you are today, what are you looking forward to in the future? Like, what does the future for Rickkita looks like?
Well, I would say the future for me looks like me retiring soon and moving to the West Coast, but I got to see what God says.
Okay.
I literally was gonna throw in the towel with just helping people get fit and stay fit, and I was like, "Well, Lord, if you're gonna let me gain these 8 pounds, I don't want to train nobody." But then you called me, and then right after you called me, I got another call from this other lady that wants me to do a fitness study. This is big. I don't want to talk too much about it,
Yeah,
but
not too much about it.
no, I don't want to talk too much about it. And then I got another call from this other lady that, she wants me to come out of state to help her and people in her job. And I'm like, Lord, I'm working like full time. I
Yeah.
possibly I don't want to quit my job.
Yeah.
God is just, I asked God at the beginning of the year on New Year's night, Lord, open the
Mhm.
door, whatever you want me to do. If you want me to go back to praise and worship, Lord,
Mhm.
I'll surrender everything. I just want to do your will for my life. And I want to die
Yeah.
empty. And so, with that being said, what it looks like for me would be for me to head to LA. But whatever God has for me in my
Yeah.
life, Tanisha, that's where I'm going.
I love
That's
that. You
So
know
with
that.
fitness, but for fitness, I've
Mhm.
been remotivated because of you. I've
I'm
been
so excited.
remotivated because of you. So
I'm
with
so
that,
excited.
I don't know. I may end up on somebody's stage this year. I don't know, and I'm gonna owe you for that.
If you end up on a somebody's stage, let me know, because I would be in that crowd
I
losing
gotta
it.
pray
Do you hear me?
about
I would be out there crying and everything else. So
it.
if you end up on somebody's stage, just
I
know
might.
okay, so I am one of those people, if you know me, and you're gonna get to know me very well, do not tell me what your goals are. Do not tell me that this is what you're thinking about, because I will harass you about it, but I will push you and be like, but no, you can't. But you
Yeah,
can do.
I know you will. You have pushed me for the past 4 years. It's like every time I get ready to say, "Ah, nah," then you call me.
Yes, okay, because let's be honest. Every time somebody asked me about fitness, or because the last time we did it, the last two times,
Yeah.
it was somebody was like, "Hey, Tanisha," because they knew I was doing fitness, and they were saying, "Do you mind teaching like the women at the church?" I'm like, "I don't know how to do that, but I know someone who
Yes,
does."
you do. Yes, you do.
So I was like, I know someone who does. And so, I asked you to come and you would come. And it was amazing. It was we had lost, I think our group lost like over 100 pounds,
Over 100
as a
pounds. It was
collective.
amazing. I look back over those videos and I'm like, oh, that was so awesome. Like,
So much
and
fun.
that was amazing. That was
That was
amazing.
so much fun. And then I think another time we came, it was a smaller group, but we came and we was like, we'll come to you. You don't have to come to the
Space.
church.
I was renting the space over on
We
Denver.
were there,
Yeah.
so we came there and we worked out. And so there's one video in particular that I love the most about us is that you had us on Zoom. So anybody that's here, she will work you out on Zoom. But I will caution you to put yourself off of mute. We were on mute and I felt like she couldn't hear us screaming. And so she just kept going. And I think I showed you the video because my son, I think he was smaller then, but he was like on the other side, like
You
drinking
did
his little
show
water.
me.
He was like, "What happened to our water break?" He was so little. He's like,
Yeah,
"What
I
happened to our
remember
water?"
that. I remember that. I remember that.
Because you just
Yeah.
said two more things and we'll get our water break. And my son was sitting over the side, like, where is our water?
So
But
yeah,
yes,
that's what I enjoy. I enjoy when people enjoy my workouts. I know I can be. I used to go so hard. I used to, and I think one of the ladies at the church, Prophet, told me at the church. She says, you don't need to go that hard with people." And I'm thinking it was a spiritual thing, so I stopped. And I'm like, yeah,
mhm,
I gotta be me. So I started
yeah,
going harder.
yeah.
So yeah.
And I think it's needed. And for those that are thinking, hey, I think I want her to train me or different things of that nature and wants to reach out to her, don't be discouraged by her saying she's going hard. I'm someone who has went through it. There's other people at my church. If you know me, I got a Temple Church of Christ, so you can ask. There's always an alternative to whatever move that she's doing. There's
Everywhere.
always an alternative. If you need assistance because you have certain joint pains, there's always an alternative workout to what she's doing. So I don't want, and that's why I think I asked the questions about, if I do have pains, how do you get past it? If Rickkita is your trainer, you're working out with her, there's always an alternative to each move that you're doing.
And I want to also say this too. When you work out with me, I always want to tell you to go talk to your doctor and always consult with your
Mhm.
doctor on what you can and cannot do. And sometimes for me, I would also ask some people that I work out with, okay, I want to see that your doctor said it's okay for you to work out with me. Because if you don't have any
Mhm.
limitations, then we're going there. But if you have limitations, then I'm gonna give you a workout that's according to your limitations. How about that?
Okay, right. Right. So for those that just got nervous about that, just come up with a limitation, baby. Come make one up, sis. Just make one up. She'll be okay. But if she knows you can do better, she does push you. I know she definitely has pushed me when I worked out with her. And sometimes I was looking like, wait a minute. I think like you had me pushing like a tire one time by myself. At first it was a
Yeah.
group. It was like three of us pushing the tire. Next thing I know, I was pushing the tire by myself. I said, now wait, who told her I could
Everybody
do
else,
this?
everybody else, I said they were like, I'm not doing that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But I loved it. I definitely loved it. And so the last question I do have for you, because I did ask for you to come, talk about fitness. Why is it important? What do you hope that people that are either watching this live or watch it later on the rewatch, what do you hope they receive from listening to you talk about your fitness journey?
I just hope they are inspired by my story. I mean, you've only heard like 20% of
Mhm,
really who Rickkita is, but I hope
mhm,
that you're inspired. I've been at this fitness thing for probably 40 years. And through the help of God, I have maintained my body from when I was 289 to what I am now, like 130. I'm still not overweight, like I'm 135. And it's like that bothers me. So I'm just trying to get these little 8 pounds off me, and then you really gonna see me. But I would say I just want you to be inspired that you can do it. Just move your body. And don't ever think
mhm,
you need a gym. Don't ever, and even if you go to the gym, you get intimidated, go back. Keep on until you fight those fears and just go in the gym and do what you got to do and go home. You'll see your body change. And once you see your body change, you're going to fall in love with it just like I did. And I'm still, even though I'm 60 years old, I'm still in love with me. Okay.
Time
And
out.
it just lets me know.
First of all, the people are shooketh because you told how old you are. So I'm not going to repeat it, but if you heard it, rewind. Again, for the people that want to see what the Lord has done, go to her page because you cannot say, because she's talking about 135, these 8 pounds. When I tell you these 8 pounds have hit in the right place, good
Yes,
night.
Lord. No.
But yes, it is, and it's one of the things that I've always said, when I become, in my 50s or in my 60s, I want to look a certain way. I've always, talked about chasing Angela Bassett. Like that's been my thing and that's my goal. And then I met Rickkita and said, oh no, well, I can look right over here.
Oh,
There's somebody I know.
now Angela Bassett. Now that's who I want. I love her. So, but
Yeah.
listen. I just want to say that the age you are now, your body, I've seen you. I know you. I've seen you work out. You have an amazing body. Don't let
Thank
it
you.
go. Please. And I tell my daughter this, who's 24. My daughter used to hate to work out with me. Like she was a chubby kid. So I used to drag her to the gym at 10 years old. I would drag her wherever I went to work out, whether it was the steps, Creve Court steps, Flow Valley. She was right there with me. To this day, my daughter just called me the other day and she's like, Mom, guess how much I weigh? I'm like, what? 120. And she's happy about that weight, baby.
Yeah.
She stays in the gym. You think I go to the gym a lot? That baby stays in the gym. Okay.
Mhm.
So when you start looking at your body and you start seeing those kind of results, you want to keep and continue to do that. And then you're not obsessed because some people call it. I remember somebody calling and telling me that I was obsessed with working out. No, I wasn't obsessed with working out. I was obsessed with being fit and looking
Mhm.
good. Yes, I knew that my
Yeah.
body looked good. So yes, I became obsessed with that. And so in
Yeah.
order to be obsessed with that, you got to do you got to have discipline to be able to be obsessed. So
Mhm. Yeah. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with it, and sometimes my thing is to be obsessed with your physical self or, the way you look. That is okay. And it's one of those different things when you're
okay.
disciplined. Oh, your baby's here.
Oh, hi, Amaya.
Hey, girl,
Oh,
hey. You
you
heard your
never
mama just
work.
talking about you.
You don't have an audition. I thought you had an audition.
I'm like, oh, hey,
Oh,
girl, hey, like your baby here.
love
But yeah,
you.
yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, your baby here watching. But
She done been
because
through
like
the fire. She done been through the fire all last week and everything. Now she's on her
yes.
way to an audition. So
Well, good luck on your audition, because baby, you don't understand. I know I don't know you, but baby, we were praying for you. Okay, so I'm so glad
oh,
that you're
thank
doing well, and good luck on your audition. We know you're gonna kill it. Oh, I just love this. I hope you go back and watch the full, the full of your podcast. Your mom was talking about some really good things. So hopefully you can watch the replay and please let us know how well you do on your interview. So I'm so glad she was able to touch
get
on
her on
you.
your show. Get her on your show.
I'm coming for you. So just know, Amaya, I'm coming for you, girl. So if you see me reach out, I'm Tanisha Lachey, and just know I'm definitely coming for you. So, but I do thank you so much for coming on, and I did want to just kind of reiterate one of your pieces where you were talking about being obsessed. Because some people will make you feel bad about the results that you have, and I am just a firm believer that if you're disciplined when it comes to your body, you can be disciplined in all things. And so
Absolutely.
it's one of those different things that it's okay to start with you. And sometimes that goes out to other things. And so for anyone that is out there, I hope they do hear your story and hear how, different things, because we didn't even get into, some of the things that you might have encountered. Because I know, we've talked about, I know you have encountered different people that have said different things. I know I've
Yeah.
encountered, not as much, where people have kind of snickered and said different things about, a minister doing, working out and different things of that nature. But at the same breath, it's like I have a certain discipline. Now, I'm not out here clowning, but at the same time, I really do care about the temple that I'm in, and I just take that discipline to all things. So for anyone that wants to start a fitness journey, make sure that it's for you. The discipline that
Yeah.
you do in the gym will be in all things. So continue to move forward. And as the Bible does say, don't be worried about their faces. The Lord got you.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
Rickkita, how can they find you? So I know your baby has found you here. I'm so happy she came. That like made my day that your baby popped up because I know
I
we
know, like she's so busy.
I know that made your day because I'm like, me and you, we're all about our babies, and we got our one babies, and they are our heartbeats, on 2 feet, they're our faves. So I'm so happy that you were able to tune in, Amaya. But if someone does want to reach out to you and, ask questions, or if they want to start a fitness journey, or they want you to train them, how can they reach you?
Well, I am Wasted by Rickkita on all social media platforms. I did have a website. They're working on it now. I think I was like, I'm done. But now
I'm
you
gonna
did
always
this. So you can
I
find me
don't
on
know.
all social. You did this. So you can find me on all social media social media web pages. Wasted by Rickkita.
Okay. So Wasted by Rickkita, you can find it on everything. And trust me, she is on Facebook. She's on Instagram. She is
TikTok.
on TikTok. And this is Alicia, who she's also worked out. So if you need like a referral, Alicia is one of the people who
Hi! Oh my
definitely
God, that was Alicia. Oh my God, did you see how her body transformed?
listen to
Listen,
me. I'm like,
you became thank you, Jesus. You and her, you guys became trainers. I mean, you guys went and got certified. Alicia, oh my God, that girl's
yeah,
body
I'm
transformed.
like,
Like,
if you want to see what Rickkita can do, talk to
listen,
Alicia because I'm telling you, it would definitely listen, Alicia.
Alicia, I love you, Alicia.
I'm like, the people don't know. I'm like,
Oh,
Alicia can
good
tell
God.
you. I'm like, Alicia can tell you what Rickkita can do. And it is just one of those different things of just being consistent. And so, Rickkita, if I don't tell you more, I love it.
I'm a
So
crybaby
true.
too. I'm a crybaby.
Yes, but you can't quit, Rickkita. I mean, you know what the Lord has called you to do. I'm really excited that you've always remained obedient because I know it is hard. I can understand, with working, with everything that was trying to hit you just for this podcast. It was so much going on,
Yes,
because I was like waiting. I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait. I was like, because I see everything going on with her baby. I'm like, I'm ready to postpone at any moment. I was just like, I was just waiting. And so it was just one of those different things that you just can't quit. And so like I never know, like those things aren't coincidental that it just so happens that every time you feel like you're in quit, someone like me or someone like Alicia, someone else
like
pops up
you.
and
Yeah.
says that, because in my mind, I just think, oh, we're doing fitness, Rickkita. Or I was just like, oh, I want to start this podcast and I want to make sure I do it and do it right. January, you know what, I'm gonna ask Rickkita, maybe she'll do it, and I'm thinking that I don't have no idea that you're getting ready to throw in the towel. So if it's nothing but confirmation for you to say that you have to keep going, then
It
keep
is
going. You're going to
going
help
to.
so many women. If you motivate me to keep going, if Alicia is working out people currently, because Alicia is working out people and she is certified, you were able to help transfer her body first. And now she's moving on and doing something very similar to what you're doing. So like she's saying, it's definitely a God-given gift for you to help women. It's just with fitness, and you just got to keep going, and He'll
I
provide a
got.
way. We're praying for
Amen.
you. We love
I'm
you,
gonna
like we
stop.
really
I'm
do love
about to
you.
cry.
I'm like, we really do love you. And so I'm so happy that you were here to be a part of this podcast because the whole goal of
Dude.
WWB is to really inspire women to do their purpose by hearing their journey. And I'm so happy you were so transparent and saying, like, hey, I did this for myself. I started helping other people. And I'm gonna be real honest, I wanted to put this mantle down. But people keep having me come back. And it's like, I know I love doing this. And then people just start coming in the chat out of nowhere. And so if that's nothing but confirmation, you ain't done yet,
So much.
sis.
I'm not done yet. Every time I throw in a towel, God is back. It's like,
You ain't
no,
done yet. So if
not
you
done.
end up on the stage this year, please let me know. Let Alicia know. Just
Yes.
know we are going to
Let her
cheer for
know.
you. Yes,
But
so we're
I'll
definitely
definitely let you know. Seriously, I will. I love you.
on.
You have always just every time it's like and one time I was like, why she keep calling me? And I'm like, but I love her because
I do
because
owe.
I mean, you just you were probably the angel that God sent to my life to remind me.
Well, I can
Don't
only be
stop.
a vessel. I'm trying, but just know, like that's what I'm saying. I told you from the jump. I was like, first conversation. I was like, I love you. I think I got off the phone. I was like, man, I just love you. I was like, I really love you. And then I was like, came onto the podcast and I started working out with you, and I was just like, yes. I was like, she stuck with me. Move on. She's stuck. And so, but yes, again, for those that are watching, thank you guys so much for joining in. If you don't catch the live, there's always the replay to go back. And once this actually does post on the WWB page as well as my personal page, I will put in the information for Rickkita. But if you saw me pubbing it, you can hit the links because I made sure to tag it on it every single time because, like I said, I know her, so I knew her stuff. So, Wasted by Rickkita, you can put the information on there and you can definitely find her. But once again, thank you guys so much for coming in, and we'll be doing it again next month. But thank you, Rickkita. We appreciate you. And for everyone
Love
else,
you.
take care.
Bye bye.